everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting in another episode of Cash or Trash, where we talk about the hot comics of this past week and make predictions sure to go wrong. And as always, by we, I mean myself and my man, Marcus Circumstances. What is up, sir? How are you?
Man, the Chiefs are not in the playoffs, but we're making it through. We're hanging
Yeah.
in.
Everyone was like, oh, I don't want the Chiefs no more. I don't want the Chiefs no more. What'd you get? You got the stinking Patriots back. That's what you get. You complain, and then you go back to the same thing from before. So that's all I can say. I hope the Seahawks win. That's it. That's all I got. So
I don't mind either way.
I don't really care that much either. I honestly am just kind of rooting for Sam Darnold. That's kind of
Yeah, he's a good
just
story.
because he's went through so much. So there you go. That's just me. But they're not here to talk about that. They're here to talk about comics. And my man GT Key was hanging out early. Berklar, what is going on, sir? Jacob, how are you? Good evening to you. Oh man, Bob, hello, hello. Deep House is in the house. Hello, sir. You're having a happy Monday. Monty Ray, what's good? What is happening? And then there's this guy. What the heck? Hey, John, how are you?
You're welcome.
Okay.
He's leaving, thanks to me.
Well, he might not even be here anymore. He saw Marcus was here, so he might have bailed. So, dang it. There goes a view. Darn the luck. So,
Yeah. Oh, dang it.
Mr. Marcus, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm living life. I hate this cold weather. I know you do too, but we'll make it through.
Yeah, we'll survive another winter in the Midwest. We get one to two of these spells every winter, and they'll pass eventually. So then it'll be warm again. Then it'll be heat index of 115, and we'll be like, this sucks.
I'd much rather have that.
So, all right. So what are we doing here? If you're new to the channel, this is where I've been doing the look back for 7 freaking years, where I look back at the hot comics from 6 months ago, see how they're doing in the market since. This is the companion to that video. This is where Marcus and I look at the hot comics of last week and give our thoughts on what we think is going on with the books, whether or not it's a book that's worth chasing, whether or not you should probably be patient. And if we knew what we were talking about, we'd both be rich, and we don't, and we're not. So take our thoughts. It's just, our thoughts. So with that, we got 18 books to talk about. So you ready to dig in here, Marcus? All right, here we go. Make this a little bigger. There we go. First up, we got Exquisite Corpses, #1. Second week in a row because this got optioned. Last week, 30 to 60, 9.8, 195. Still basically setting 30 to 60 for a raw copy. 9.8, so we're up to almost to 250. 200 plus, all the way up to almost 250. Your thoughts, Marcus? I think it's getting a little far, but your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are the same. Last time I said I think this is a $10 book. So this is way above $10, so I'm with you. This is going into trap territory. You're definitely overpaying at $30. We've got a long time to go before this is anything on screen, so there's no reason to overpay. This book will come down, but buy it for the read, though. Get the trade or whatever, or just wait and get it later because it will come down.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I just remind people that Something is Killing the Children was optioned in like 2020 or 2019, and we haven't seen it yet. So
yeah, but that's not a great analogy though, because that book
is Tinian's book that got optioned.
It's super expensive though.
Well, it is super expensive, I guess. But my point being that like option news doesn't mean we're seeing this anytime in the next 5-6 years. Like it could be a long time before we see this. So
none of his other books are like Something is Killing Children. It's the only
Something is Killing Children is the only one that's carried value. That's for sure. So I guess it is not. It has held value better than the others. But yeah, but I just mean like these things take a long time. You'll have time to get back on this book. Things that did take a long time. I think we started talking about Beauty on this channel. Gosh, 4 or 5 years ago at least. It is coming out though on FX right now. 3 episodes have dropped. 3rd week in a row we got here. Old man Bob agreeing with us. I clicked on and off that really quick. Sorry about that, but we got Beauty. I have not watched any of this. 2 weeks ago it was 15 to 25. 15. It was $15. Last week it was 15 to 25. 9.8s both weeks were 120. This week we're at $25 to $40 for the A cover. And I did not change the thing. 9.8s, 140 to 180. And I know what I think you said that I have this and I'll be back, but at these prices, we're in the trap territory for sure on this A cover. Show is coming out right now. Never buy it when the show is coming out. That's just don't do it. But Marcus, am I wrong? It's just got staying power.
I would agree with you, but here's my caveat. If you go and you watch this show and you just love it and you feel like you need it, then believe in it and go get it, I guess. But I think, yeah, this will probably come down, but this is the make it or break it point for this. It's out. Do people go crazy for it? Does it become a phenomenon or not? That's the question. So
I would just caveat that with there's been a lot of shows that were very popular when they came out. The books went way up.
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth with Umbrella Academy. There's been some others. The shows, people like them, and the books aren't worth anything. So
yeah, but we are talking 6 months from now.
We are talking 6 months from now. This is true.
So with that in mind,
of that would be The Last of Us. That book is held like when that show has come out. So for the most part, it's down a little bit from the heights, but it has held a lot of value. So take all that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I think this is a trap at these prices for this cover. Now, for this cover, I think this will always be the more expensive cover. The Jenny Frison variant. It's 40 to 70 at this point. 9.8 is 150 to 200. This one I did leave as an I'll be back. I would not adjust it to a trap, but I still think both of these I would definitely not buy while the show was coming out.
Before we move on, I would like to point out that Planet Comic-Con, end of March, Jeremy Hahn will be joining us all 3 days, I do believe. So
he's
if you have,
yeah,
he's usually there. But if you have a copy of this book or any of his other books, come on out, check us out, and let's go get drunk.
Yeah, is he local? I've never known if he was local. Or
I
not.
feel like he must be because he's usually there.
Yeah, he's usually there.
Yeah,
so
but I don't know that for sure though.
I don't. And he's not one. He's one of the names that I feel like we see almost every year. But I don't know if he's actually local or not. So,
well, shout out to the homie. We appreciate you.
We do. Next, we were talking beforehand. Marcus asked me if I'd seen Beauty yet. I had not. I have watched both episodes of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This book hit the list. This show, episode 1, had come out before we did this. Episode 2 came out last night. $30 for a raw copy on this comic based on the novellas that the show is based on about a hedge knight and his kind of rise through Westeros. Marcus, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, these things are always, iffy. This got compared because I guess it came out the same time as Invincible and Walking Dead and all that. But the difference is that was original stuff that started in the comics, whereas this started somewhere else and came to the comics, which gives it less value intrinsically. So, I mean, I'd be real careful with this one. Definitely I'll be back on this one. I feel like once the show's gone, the hype will be gone. This will be an easy book to get if you really want it.
Yeah. What we got? The art is the best part of Beauty. Han and Hurley are both from Joplin. Okay, there you go. There's also a variant. I know a bunch about Beauty in the Diamond box somewhere. So yeah, that's where I'm at on this. I would just go look at what the other Game of Thrones books are worth. Not really a ton. Like they haven't really. Of course, people didn't like the way that show ended, so that's part of it. The original show, but yeah, I would say this is a comeback for. Even though I think the show is getting pretty decent reviews, I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes, but I think this is definitely a comeback. All right, next we got.
Good luck, Wormhole.
What?
I was just saying, good luck, Wormhole, on finding it. I know.
Oh yeah, finding them. Yeah, I will say, most of the time I can find myself. Although there has been things I'm sure I had that I apparently got rid of at some point and didn't remember getting rid of because I couldn't find it. So hopefully he has them somewhere. Next, we got a trailer drop this week. So both of these, this and the next book, both are hitting the list because we got the He-Man trailer. Marcus, your thoughts on the trailer real quick. What did you think?
It looks pretty cool to me. I know a lot of people who weren't interested are suddenly interested. I'm one of those people. I had no interest whatsoever, but the trailer had me thinking, okay, I'm willing to give this a try now.
So my thought process was before the trailer was this will be a dumpster fire. After the trailer, my thoughts are it might still be a dumpster fire, but they made a pretty good trailer. So that's my thoughts.
To see what they do with it. So I think I think this has a lot of people's attention. People are going to give it a try.
Yeah,
but this is not the book, right?
This is not the book. We'll talk about the book here in a second. This one's going for 20, 9.8 at 250. This is the first solo series from 1982, so just a few months after the book. But your thoughts on this one first?
Yeah, I think it's worth it. I'm with you on that. $20 is surprisingly low considering how old it is, and whether or not this does well. He-Man is one of those books that at least has a life for as long as we're alive. Once we're dead, who knows what happens with them. But this is shockingly low, so I'll say worth it for this one.
Well, I thought it was worth it for two reasons. A, this is not that much different than where this book just sets anyway. This is basically I think the 9.8s are up a little bit, but for a raw copy, this is basically where this book sets. And two, 6 months from now, the movie comes out in June, so we'll be in July when we're talking about this again. So odds are, unless it just massively bombs and everyone hates it, which I guess is still a possibility, even if the trailer looked good, I don't think it'll affect the book downward that quickly. So when we talk about it 6 months, I think worth it is easily going to be the case for this. But the book, as you talked about, is DC Comics Presents number 47, first appearance of He-Man in comics. Raw copies were 100 to 260 that I saw in recent sales, 9.8, 1,000 to 1,300. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a get in where you fit in for me. But you're probably right in that it's worth it, especially with the timing of the show. Probably is a good time to get it at these prices. It'll probably come down afterwards, but yeah, I'll agree with you on the work.
Yeah. My thought process on this one is that if you don't have this book, I would look for it like this time next year. I mean, at this point, it would be a 2027 and not a 2026. Whether the movie's good or not, odds are you'll get a better deal in 27 than you're going to get in 26 on this book. So that would be my thoughts on this one. Obviously, it's like you said. Again, though, these are higher than it's been recently, but not crazy high for this book at these current values. So I think you're probably buying it definitely for 6 months from now. It's going to be worth it, but I would still probably be like, I'll come back in 27 if I haven't bought this book yet. So that's just me. With that, we're going to move to some covers. First up, we got Mega Man, Legends of the Timelines, Josh Perez, 1 and 5. We talked about last week at 10 to 30, and it's still 10 to 30. Basically, it's switch list. That's what we're doing. No, actually, no. It was on the CBSI list both weeks. It just still had lots of sales. So it did not switch list. It's still the same value. Any difference on this one? We were both like, I'll be back to Trap, like Trap on the upper end. I'll be back on the lower end kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I don't get this one at all. So it's almost like a whatever. Yeah. But yeah, nothing new on this one. I don't quite get this one.
Well, it is a Transformers movie poster homage is what it basically is. But yeah. No, I get it. I just don't think there's the clientele for Mega Man, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing that nostalgia. I mean, there's nostalgia for things like Earthward Jim and Biker's Meister Mars, so I'm sure there's nostalgia for this. So next, we go back to Exquisite Corpses. We got issue number 9, the 1 per store foil, 40 to 75. Almost all of these have been on the list. It's the ones we've looked back on have been a mixed bag so far. Some of them have held pretty steady. I think one of them dropped back pretty good. So it's been a mixed bag on this. I would still put this as an I'll be back. It's basically the equivalent of 125 going for between double and triple ratio if it was a 1 in 25. But your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, definitely an I'll be back. And I'd be real careful about overpaying for anything past number 1. Like, even if it becomes a thing, number 1 will be the book, and anything past that is really shaky ground to be on. So
I would agree with that, and particularly these 1 per store foils, because all they are is a foil. I mean, they're harder to get, but they're just the cover that you can already get. I realize almost all of them hit the list, but I would be cautious with these for sure. All right, next got a little Nightwing bringing sexy back, I guess, cover here. We got the Travis Moore sweater weather variant going for $10 to $20. So before you get into this, because you're probably going to be like, why on earth did he put worth it? All I know is when they did a similar thing with Red Hood, that book is like $100 book now when they had him with no shirt on. So I think the ladies like him, whether or not the rest of us do.
I think it might be the gays too.
Well, that could be too. So that's the only reason I have this is worth it is because I said the same things about that. I remember when that Red Hood book came out, I'm like, nah, this won't do anything. And came back 6 months later and it was $80 to $100. So that's where I would be like, yeah, probably is. Wormhole looks like a self-portrait.
So this was an open order then? Yeah, it was, right?
I think it was an open order variant, yes. It is not the sweater weather variants are all open order for sure.
I'm gonna follow your lead then. I'm a huge fan of Dick. I love Dick, and we'll just go with this one.
So, no, I just we'll see. But the couple of these that have come out that have been similar have done really well. I think there's a Tim Drake one that's kind of not quite like this, but is also similar that held up really well. So yeah, I think there's an audience for these for sure. I ordered 50 from Lunar. I mean, I don't know how that it'll get like those others, but I think it's going to carry some value no matter what. Next, we got first time in a while we got an art germ popping up, an art germ 1 in 200. 1 in 200s don't pop up very much. This is the Psylocke Ninja #1. Normally, when you talk about like a 1 in 200 hitting the list, there'll be like 3 or 4 sales that are above ratio, so they feel like that's worth putting it on the list. This one had like almost 20 sales, and it's going for 3 to 375, so well above ratio. Usually on a book like this, that means it's going to stick. Plus, I'm going to say this is probably the most I've liked an art germ cover in a long time. But your thoughts, Marcus?
It doesn't look like him, right?
It does, but it's definitely got it's a little different. Like you look at her face, it's an art germ face, but.
Yeah, but just the style, it doesn't have that digital style. I'm going to say worth it just because I absolutely love this cover. Like, yeah, I really like this cover. It is spectacular. And I will point out that if you happen to have this cover, you bring that bad boy to Planet Comic-Con and you can have Stanley Art Germ himself sign that bad boy.
I can't figure out which books I'm going to have him sign because, I will definitely get some art.
Come see us end of March, planetcomiccon.com. Get your tickets and come see JP, the local celebrity.
So, yeah. No, I love this one. If it wasn't like a $300 book, I'd be like, ooh, that would be an art germ I want. And then it's but no, I'm not paying $300. But.
Like, I like 300 is way too high, but like I would pay. I'm not even a Psylocke fan like that, and I would buy the hell out of this.
So they are saying that there is a trade dress version. I did not know that there was a trade dress.
I want the trade dress then.
I might try to get the trade dress then for sure. Pretty rare for 100. Yeah, 1 in 200s do not get this hot that often for sure. So I think even with the trade, I think this one stays pretty high for value. I think this is not one that comes back. All right, next. We got Amazing Spider-Man 346. You're going to be like, why is this hitting the list out of nowhere? Classic Eric Larson, Venom, Spidey cover, $20, 9.8, 190. We'll talk about why here in just a second. It's on the list, but any thoughts on this book?
Yeah, this one is I feel like it's kind of worth it. A classic Spider-Man, when I haven't had the money to go hunting in a while, but when I went hunting, this era of Spider-Man is not easy to get. In the bins, they're really, at least where I look, you don't see a lot of these. So for that reason, a nice quality issue of this, I definitely pay $20 for. So I'm going to say worth it for that reason. And the reason why this one is popping, I didn't even notice it last week. Why didn't you mention it?
So this is the reason it's popping at the moment. This is not that much different than what this book goes for. So it's not like it was more just a bump in sales and a bump in value. But the reason it's popping is because people apparently are after the Symbi character, and this cover that's his first appearance is a homage. So that appears to be the reason why it was sales. I don't know if that's 100% the truth, but that's kind of what they indicated on the show. First
W in
cover.
the chat if you saw it. Like if you guys saw it, W in the chat. I did not see it. I did not put it
You
together.
didn't see that these two. You don't see that these two are similar.
No, I didn't pull it together. I mean, it's hard to do, right? It's a little obscure, but
Yeah. Oh, it's just the reflection and the mouth open, and yeah. Horvat, I'm a homage. So this is his cameo appearance in the book, but obviously his first cover appearance, and this thing is going for 10 to 20, 9.860. We talked about this last week. There's apparently an animated thing that this character's coming to. He literally just got introduced in the comics in the last couple of months. Any thoughts here, Marcus?
I was just, same thing as last week. I'll be back, whatever. But how's that Spider-Boy hype going while we're getting hype about this one?
Yeah.
How's that Spider-Boy hype doing?
Well, I think this is the reason people are hyped on this one is they're comparing it more to like Jeff the Land Shark than the Spider-Boy. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's more of like a dog with a venom thing is more what we're looking at here, I think, than a kid. But Mr. He Who Remains, what's going on, sir? Oh, well, you haven't missed all of it, just most of it. So we still got a little ways to go. So we got, we still got a few books. We had 18 books this week, so you still got a few. Next, we have Everything Dead and Dying, #1. This is a book new, just came out. CBSI did not list anything like it was also optioned or anything. It appears to just be a new comic going for $15 to $30 out the gate. I don't know anything about this one other than generally speaking, there are some that hold this kind of value when they come out like out the gate, but it's pretty rare. But your thoughts, Marcus?
Well, I need to know more about why it's blowing up. Are people reading it and being like, this is amazing? Because that's one thing. If they heard some option news, that's a totally different thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not really educated on this book. I've seen Tate Bromble some, but yeah, I wouldn't run out and overpay for this unless you've read it and you just love it. I guess would be my answer. But I'll say I'll be back.
It seems to be because of the read, but I don't because I couldn't find anything that indicated option, but that doesn't mean I didn't miss it. Because it did just literally come out. But yeah, I would still be pretty cautious on this. Every so often, being cautious on one of these costs you like a Beneath the Trees or something, but generally you're better off being patient on something like this that takes off like this right out the gate. Because rarely do they maintain that momentum. So
I'm trying to buy Beneath the Trees, y'all. Hook me up. I love that book.
All right, next. There's only one of these there's only one absolute book this week for the first time in I feel like months that we're only talking about one absolute book. Of course, though we are talking about Absolute Batman. 150 to 240 on raw copies, 3 to 500 on 9.8. Tom literally said that in the 7 days since they've done the last one of these, 100 more of these have been added to the census in the 9.8s. Tell you, there's no shortage of these. I feel like this book is. I don't think it's going to drop. I finally put it in I'll be back at this point. I don't think it's going to drop much in the next 6 months to a year, but I do feel like we're getting to critical mass here, that there's just no way I can keep doing this. But your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I actually have this run except for this. I ended up selling mine for 150 because I felt like 150 was the peak of this thing and that it will come down and I'll be able to buy it back for cheaper than I sold it for. I really, truly believe that. So I've already put my money where my mouth is. I definitely think this is an I'll be back at this
point. I sold mine for like 30, so there you go. Because I'm a dummy.
So, you got your money.
I did get my money back. That's about all, but yeah. Covered angry. I need to sell all of mine. I got a full run plus ratios number one. There you go. The absolute crash is going to hurt. It's going to hurt some people, I think. I think it happens eventually. I don't know that it's a full-on crash, but I feel like eventually it's going to come. I just don't know that it's going to be soon.
I think it's going to come. I think what you're talking about is why, which is there's a lot of copies of this. And there's a bunch of people stockpiling them thinking that it's the death of Superman going to make them rich type stuff, and they're going to get I think the best comparison is New 52 Batman. Same writer, same thing. It's the same path.
Yeah, I think so. All right, next we got some rumors that Maxima might be a side villain in the second Superman movie. So, Action Comics number 645, first appearance of Maxima, hitting the list 10 to 25, 9.8 for 250, which seems stupid for 10 to 25 for first appearance of a character like Maxima. Okay, whatever. $250 for 9.8 of that first appearance from a book from 1989, which means it was not short, low printed. No, thank you. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, this is one of those kind of fun go hunting books. You can find this in a bin at a shop that hasn't dug it out yet and repriced it. So this is what I love about one of the things I love about comic shopping is going out and hunting and looking for these little books like this behind the scenes. So this is definitely one of those great ones. I think if you're coming in at $10, then that I think if it's a nice quality copy of it, you're coming in at the right area. But anything above that, you're definitely in I'll be back territory. I'm excited about the DC Guns DC, but and it's fun to spec on it, but just don't go too crazy.
Yeah, I just wouldn't go crazy on this. Like I said, I would go digging for this one. I feel like there's a lot of boxes with old Action comics in it that would have this in it that nobody's ever really paid attention to Maxima before or anytime recently. Yeah, like I said, $10, sure. $25, $250 for 9.8. No, thank you. But especially seeing it's just a rumor. Yeah, I'd be cautious with this one. I'd go dig in and try to find a store that's not going to eBay price you when you bring it up to the counter. That's basically what I would do. Next, we got Lobo number 1. We got a glimpse in the trailer, but we got a longer, like, little cut scene. Not really a trailer, but just a little scene of him riding up on the bike out this week. 10 to 20 bucks, 9.8, 230. I can tell you the 10 to 20 bucks this book has been sitting at for a while. The 230 is definitely up a little bit for 9.8. But this movie comes out in July. So in July, my guess is this book will be worth more than it is right now. 2 years from now, or a year from now, probably not. But 6 months from now, I would think probably definitely. Your thoughts, Marcus?
I think that there's a really good chance that we're just at the beginning of Lobo Mania. I've loved this book ever since it first hit the list and kind of felt like it was the book to get. If you can't afford the first appearance, this is a great second level to come in at. And I think that's going to continue to be true here as this hype continues to grow. So I'm with you on this one, straight cash, homie. Look for the new series coming from from DC. Scotty Young is writing it, the new Lobo series, and I think that's going to add to it as well. I think Lobo Mania is upon us. I think Jason Momoa might absolutely kill it, so I'm excited for it.
We'll see. But yeah, I would definitely, I don't see this one dropping anytime in the immediate future for sure. So, especially seeing it's just still pretty affordable. Now, it's also not lowly printed, so there are a lot of them out there, but it's still pretty affordable. So, next, it's always weird when they do this. We got Action Comics 252, the facsimile that came out last year on the list at $4 to $8, so cover price, the double cover. I mean, it's a great way to get this book and read the first appearance of Supergirl because you ain't buying like a reader copy of that or even a below reader copy of that. It's going to cost you $1,000 probably at this point. So from that standpoint, I get it. I'm not sure why I would necessarily call it hot, but your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I think it might just, sometimes books hit the list for the right reasons. And this is one of those books. People are just taking a flyer on it because they want to learn about Supergirl or read the origins of her, getting excited for the movie that's coming out. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a spec book. It just means it's a book that people are looking at because of whatever's going on. So I feel like that's the right reason for it to hit the list, and I like it. If you're coming in at $4, why not? That's cover price. Anything above that, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, Lobo is the new Invincible. We got So he was there to give Supergirl a hand, like they were old friends. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a bad guy necessarily. Like Lobo Mania is coming. Lobo Street Gas. Everybody loving Lobo. Lobo. It was 99 cents. All right, last book. Some speculation that we might get Power Girl in James Gunn's universe. So first Power Girl hitting the list. All Star Comics 58, $30 to $200 for raw copies, 9.8 for 17.95. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, this is a get in where you fit in book. I mean, this is a 1976 book. So if you're paying for this, you got money, and you know what you're doing. So get in where you fit in. I like the spec on it, though. I think there's a good chance, especially what Power Girl brings to the table, can do. I feel like it could do some things in the Gunn universe. So I'll say worth it along with you, but more than anything, get in where you fit in.
Yeah, I think this isn't a huge jump for this book. This is a book that has a ton of value just because I don't know that we're going to see her anytime soon. So I wouldn't go crazy with the spec. I would be very much surprised if we see her in this first Supergirl movie, but who knows? Who knows? You never know with Gunn. He loves to do his little cameos and little vignettes of things that are yet to come. So, but yeah, I would just be looking for the right copy at the right price, like you said. You get in where you fit in. I mean, that's the obvious casting. I've heard people tell me that she can act, and based on which I've never watched Euphoria, but the couple of other things I've seen her in, I'm not really sure she can. So, but okay. So we'll see. I'm kind of she's nice to look at, but I haven't seen anything that makes me actually want to watch a show that she's in where she's trying to act. So,
Thanks. Sorry, Sydney.
I mean, I've never watched Euphoria. People say that show is really good, and she's really good in it. The couple of other things I've seen, it feels like anyway, I will stop there. I think Warren has a reprint of that cover coming out on the site. There you go. Okay. Well, that's it. That's our list this week. Marcus, you got anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Man, Planet Comic-Con, bunch of great people coming to see us, including William Shatner, James T. Kirk himself. So go to planetcomiccon.com. Check out the celebrity list, man. We got some bangers. Chris Claremont. I can't wait.
I'll buy my tickets at some point.
Yeah, I got to do that too. I think I'm going to actually buy tickets this year.
No.
We'll see. So, but yeah, come see us. I'm excited about it. And thank you to all the members.
All right. Well, I want to do a quick thank you to my members before I get out of here. A big thank you to these folks, including the Circumstances guy, that support my channel, help me keep this going, help me cover my streaming costs. I really appreciate all of you folks for doing that. And we do monthly giveaways. So next Saturday, there'll be a giveaway for those folks. So a big thank you to all of them. And with that, let's get out of here. So we will catch you guys next time. Later.